Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. It seems like recently Raven has begun to tease some pretty drastic changes to overall gameplay in Warzone, primarily revolving around the health and the TTK, which obviously changes quite literally every single engagement. So today we're breaking down what exactly Raven has been teasing and what it means for the future of the Warzone meta. As we break it all down, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. Really does help grow the channel. And if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every day I got you covered with all things going on in Call of Duty, news, updates, loadouts, tips. You'll find it all right here. So feel free to subscribe with those notifications turned on, as right around 53% of viewers watching are not already subscribed. Also, code WhosImmortal is still boosted to get you 20% off your entire Gamer Advantage order, and they're dropping some brand new Horizon colorways every single day right now. So if you want to get a pair of glasses for yourself, they offer regular and prescription lenses, and code WhosImmortal right now gets you the best discount possible. So the bulk of our news today stems from this one single tweet from Raven that they sent out yesterday saying, "We want your feedback as we work towards building the ultimate battle royale experience in Warzone Season 2 Reloaded." So what they're teasing here are in fact changes for the Reloaded update, or the mid-season update for Season 2, which we're expecting to take place next week. As I'm recording this right now, they haven't officially announced an exact date, but we're expecting like the 21st or the 22nd. So they asked the question, do you like the current health pool in Battle Royale, or would you like to see us increase it to match Vanguard Royale? As we know, the max health in Vanguard Royale over the past couple of weeks has been 300 instead of 250 because they increased the base health to 150 instead of 100. And our two options here were keep Battle Royale health at 100 base plus 150 armor, or increase the Battle Royale health to 150 plus the 150 armor health, so 300 health in total. And as you can see right now, it's not really much of a close race at all. There have been 69,768 votes. I should have refreshed one more time and I might have gotten 69,769. Either way, it's still at least partially nice on there, but you can see 72% of these 69,000 votes here, almost 70,000 votes, are saying increase that health to 150 to increase the time to kill and make it even slower and give you more of a time to react in an actual gunfight, which really that's the ideal TTK in my mind. Iron Trials is awesome at 400 health, so it's a base 200 health. At times though, that can be a little bit extreme. I think 300, especially after playing so much Vanguard Royale over the course of the past couple of weeks, really is that sweet spot. And as we've been talking about recently, whenever we cover the playlist updates, I keep saying, you know, we've got Vanguard Royale here. They're not really deleting that or removing that from the playlist any week. We just have it rotating the squad sizes with normal Battle Royale, and it really is a testing ground. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought this health over to, you know, regular Battle Royale and even to Rebirth. And this tweet, I think they're tweeting this honestly because they knew this was going to be the answer. There is something to keep in mind though, just because this is a clear majority win for increasing the overall health, this does not speak for the entire player base. Obviously, this is just the player base that is active on Twitter, that follows Raven, that follows other creators who tweeted this out. Like, I know I made sure to quote tweet this so that as many people could vote in this as possible. There's only 5 hours left. I don't think this video will go up before that time expires, but this is not obviously the casuals who play the game that don't ever, you know, go on Twitter, that don't watch YouTube videos, because that's still the majority of the player base at the end of the day. So that is something to keep in mind. Obviously, this is just the vocal part of the community saying what they want to see here. It's not every single player though. I think it'd be cool if they did do some of these polls like in game. Obviously we have the end of match, hey, did you enjoy that match? And you can say yes, no, don't remind me, or you know, don't show this again or whatever. This is a cool way to really gauge community feedback, but it's only a portion of the community at that. Now that said, I did want to see how this increase to the health and this slowing down the TTK idea would change the vast majority of some of the meta weapons. Right now, obviously, we can't go through and look at every single weapon in the game and see what an extra 50 base health would do to it. We'd be here for like 45 minutes. But what we can do, True Game Data or Tony actually has the option to set the health to 300 right now, for 300 for Vanguard Royale on the site, which is super cool. So I wanted to break down some of these top meta weapons and see how it adjusts them with those extra shots to kill in there. So we got the Cold War AK, obviously probably the most consistent and overall best weapon in the game. The Bren is obviously insanely good, and we've got that on here, but the AK is also really good at close range too. We also have the Automaton, probably the best Vanguard rifle, the AMAX, probably the best Modern Warfare rifle, and then the Cooper, just because that's super popular right now, and I believe the most picked weapon that is not the Car 90 AK. So we got our Vanguard Royale health here, and instead of just looking at, you know, individual body shots here, head, neck, chest, so on and so forth, I wanted to just look at a combination of the shots. So part of the face cam blocks this here, I can actually go ahead and hide that momentarily. 15% of the shots hitting the head, 27 to the chest, 10 to the upper arm, 13 to the upper leg, 5 to the neck because it's such a small hitbox, 20 to the stomach, 5% to the lower arm and lower leg. So that creates a more realistic gunfight. Obviously, you're not going to land all your shots to the head, all your shots to the neck, unless you're within a few meters. It's just unrealistic to look at individual body parts and say, okay, that's clearly the TTK. The combination is a way better way to break it down. And as you can see here, there's some very interesting results. The Cooper Carbine with that ideal setup of MX silencer for low recoil, Cooper Custom for low recoil, and the 9mm60 for low recoil, it kind of sucks. I mean, it is the slowest killing gun that we have here up close with the Automaton sort of right there. And then it drops off severely and is not even close to anything at 22 meters, which really is not that far at all in game. The Automaton, which has been a beast, honestly has a pretty slow TTK, but it doesn't drop off as soon as some of these other guns do. It has a base range of 67 meters here using the Anastasia sniper barrel, which is pretty solid. So it's competitive from around that 30 meter mark to that 67 meter mark. That's definitely a good range to have it be pretty good at, but then it also drops off and is really not all that great. Then you compare it to something like the Cold War AK, the AMAX, and the Bren, and we get some very interesting results. The AMAX, truthfully, would be your best option here. Through 36 meters here, it is the fastest killing rifle that we've got here, weapon that we've got here. The Bren is slower, and the Cold War AK is actually slower. It does drop off there, and through about 54 meters, so from 36 to 54, it's not the absolute best, but it is right there with the Cold War AK. It's a little bit faster than that. The Bren does take over in that 38 to 54 meter range as the best option, but that's a pretty small area for the Bren to be the absolute best. And then it obviously falls off, and it's sort of there with the Automaton for a bit, sort of there with the Cold War AK for a bit. The AMAX then takes over again after that 54 meter mark, and it is kind of insane. You know, the Bren's been the most dominant weapon for way too long now, let's be honest. It desperately needs a nerf, but even here, just simply raising the health by 50 and adding that extra 1 to 2 to 3 shots really does change things up here, as the Bren is no longer clearly that #1 choice. The Cold War AK is still very good. Obviously, this sort of talks about the AMAX and shows that the AMAX is perfectly capable of holding its own, which is a very different conversation than the one that we've been having for a little while now. Now, obviously, this is a very small sample size of the overall weapon pool here. We've only got 5 weapons, and there's clearly way more that you could use. But adding in that extra health is going to drastically change this overall meta. Some guns are going to become way better, like the AMAX here, which becomes a whole lot more competitive. Other guns, though, that have, smaller magazines, worse damage per mag, those are going to suffer here unless they do actually do some weapon tuning specifically based around having 300 health. And I think if they go all in and add 300 health to all the core modes, there is going to be a pretty large amount of weapon tuning that is needed to really balance things out again. Right now, the meta is in a great spot. Changing the health, though, is going to shift things quite a bit. Some guns will probably still remain equal to where they're at now. Other guns, though, like I said, we'll see either big shifts down or big shifts up. I'm very curious to see how this is going to adjust things and change things in the future. But all that said, that is how Raven is currently planning to adjust the health in the TTK and Warzone. As we see these changes go live, of course, we're going to be covering them here on the channel. So stick it here for that and everything else going on in COD. News, updates, loadouts, tips, you'll find it all right here. So feel free to subscribe with those notifications turned on. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. Would be seriously appreciated. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.